97.9 The Box is the Madd Hatta Morning Show. Comedian Gary Owen is in the building.
Thank you. It's the Hoodie Morning Show.
Yeah, it's the hoodie. Everybody got their hoodies on. Everybody, we should all have the same color. You got blue on, but
Sorry
that's
about
okay. That's okay. You didn't get the memo.
I'll take mine.
No. You know what? Because I think people know who Gary Owens is. They've seen your
What?
movies.
He really taking it off?
Don't take it off, man. Are you? He doing it because it's hot up in this.
It is hot.
That's why he taking it off. How do you maintain being funny?
No.
How do you maintain being funny when because if you've been watching the news, just shootings here and this bad there and stuff is going on with politics. How do you continue to be funny during that time?
I think that's when comedians need it the most. It's a relief from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an escape. Because I made a conscious decision, my openers and me. I said we're not doing Trump jokes because I feel like we get it force fed to us 24/7, and I'm not that bright, so I don't know enough about politics and all that stuff. I'm like, we're just gonna stay clear. You know what I mean? I always tell people, if you want to know how I feel about politics, just go to D.L. Hughley's page. He pretty much says what I feel, but he knows how to do it in a way that I said that's what I wanted to say.
Well, you better. Well, DL can be very in the middle of the street and very direct and hurtful to those that I guess are on the other side of that. But I do like it. He's right. He's usually on point with whatever he's saying. So I feel you on that. But I always just thought it was interesting. You know, so much is happening, and can you draw from this negativity for your comedy when these negative things are happening? You know what I'm saying? And turn it around.
That's our job. Is make the uncomfortable comfortable. You know what I mean? I mean, that's our job.
But over the last few years, you know what? To me, it seems like comedians they're not able to be as free as they once were. It seemed like if you say something, somebody's feelings, it just seems like...
No, I disagree, because what happens is you have a few people that make the noise. Mm-hmm. And then people think, oh, comedians, we got to filter ourselves. If you go to a stand-up comedy show, whether it's a theater or a comedy club, we're not changing our act, you know? It's just those every now and then somebody will say, I'm offended, and they'll come out.
Right,
and the problem with
exactly.
stand-up is when you go see a music concert, you know what you're getting. You know you're getting the hits in the show.
Right.
You never know what you're getting at a stand-up show because we're coming with new stuff. So a lot of times we don't meet the expectations that you think you're going to hear. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to hear this, but this guy said this. Mm-hmm. And then they get offended.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we're the only art form where you don't know what you're getting when you walk into the room.
This is true.
And you have a level of expectation. Like, I talk about my wife, and she's black, and I'm mixed. What if I just got on stage and be like, I love Asian chicks? They'd be like, I didn't expect that from Gary. You know what I mean?
And you'll get in trouble.
Right. And then black women be like, I knew it.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, there is a level of expectation, and that's why stand-ups, that's when people get offended, because we don't live up to your expectation. I don't. At all.
You're not scared to take, which I already know the answer to this, but for those that may not, are you scared to take the heat that comes along with when you do that one joke that's going to piss off everybody?
Well, I had an incident last year where I got a special needs cousin. Mm-hmm. And I talked about her during my act, and I had all these special needs advocates come after me. How dare you say that and talk about her? And I made fun of when I used to volunteer at the Special Olympics with her, and they took offense to it. So I had to go DC and meet with these special needs people and their advocates. So it was just, that's why I told him, I said, it ain't the special needs people I'm upset with, it's your advocates. Because you keep telling them they're less than. I don't look at it like that. I think everybody you can make fun of everybody.
That's right.
So everybody's on equal ground, you know? I said, I got a cousin with special needs, I got a cousin Joey, he's tall. I was just describing them. Mm-hmm. You guys took it like, oh, they can't defend themselves. Well, they can. I'm sitting here talking to them.
Right.
So
you don't temper, you will not change your comedy thinking that, oh, this one's going to rub them the wrong way. Not doing it.
No, I know how far to push the envelope without going too far. Like, I'm obviously not gonna say the M word.
Right, exactly. And I used to love the way.
It is hot in this studio.
It is hot up in this video,
I'm
man.
baking. You got a 97.9 towel?
That boy is sweating.
I'm sweating like crap. You know what it was? I drank hot coffee.
That boy like Pookie over
My
here.
problem.
I'm gonna open the door.
Everybody think I'm on coke.
That boy is sweating.
I'm leaking right now.
You might have a towel around here somewhere.
Watch this. I'm gonna be like this. This happened to me one time on Sway, too. I came on and I did the same thing. I drank something hot and I came on. The studio was hot and the lights was on. I go, Jesus Christ. So it happens.
You be all right.
It's fine.
So the word is the only thing you won't say in comedy.
I used to love the comedy routine. I know you don't do it anymore probably when you used to bring your friend on stage and you didn't say the word.
Yeah.
And then you did that whole, I used to love that. I'm like, should I love this? I do. It was a very inventive way to do this bit.
But then somebody stole it and made a skit of it on Showtime. Dude, I'm just.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Showtime had a show called Chocolate Sundays, and they literally took my joke and made it a sketch. And I knew they stole it because I called the producer. I said, "Yo,
oh wow, you called him out on it."
I said, who wrote the sketch? So I want to know where to direct my anger." And he couldn't tell me who wrote it. He goes, "Oh no, we have a think tank." I go, "So you don't know who wrote it?" I said, "That tells me all I need to know." I said, "Somebody stole that."
They know they stole it too.
Yeah, they know they stole it. And I don't call women the B word or hoes in my act either. And my wife told me that. They go, your fan, you have a big black female fan base. She goes, eliminate those words from your act, and then you're showing us that you can pretty much say whatever you want, and you're respecting women.
Is that crazy? Here it is. I get it. You have a black wife. I get it. But for your fan base to be these women who love Gary, this white guy.
Not on coke.
He's not on coke. It's
really not in here,
We're
for
used
real.
to it, y'all.
Jesus Christ, Jimbo.
I'm sorry, Gary.
I feel like Samuel Jackson in A Time to Kill. He was sweating that whole movie. You know? Sweaty Jackson. He was innocent. He was sweating. I go, Sam, you're good.
I forgot what I was saying. What did I just ask Gary?
leaking.
What did I just ask Gary? You just made me forget what I just asked him.
Women fan base.
Yeah, your fan. There you go. Yeah. Is that ever odd for you that you got all these black women who love and adore you?
No. I'm happy to have a fan base. Like I said, it's nice to have any segment of society that like you. You know? And what I found out, I went to Essence this year for the first time, and what I did find out about black women is when they get drunk, I become Tommy from Power. That is what happened at Essence.
Really?
I took more pictures as Tommy.
I could kind of sort of see it.
Oh my God.
I see it.
They like literally. I was walking around New Orleans. They was like, Tommy. I go, I'm not here. And they go, you scared? Ghost ain't here. Ghost ain't here. You ain't gotta be scared. I was like, no, I'm not him. Literally, I'm not him. And literally, I was like, by the end of Essence, I was just like, watch season 6. I took a lot of pictures as Tommy.
When you start, okay. Let's go back.
I'm starting to adjust. I feel my body's starting to adjust to this heat.
I opened the door to it's cooler. So when you first start, do you know that? Because I'm just assuming, this is a big assumption, that most of your fan base is black. When you first start doing comedy, is this where Gary thinks that his career is getting ready to go?
It was, when I first started, I couldn't get up on the mainstream rooms. So I was in the military. There's a couple black guys I was in the Navy with, and they told me about the quote unquote hood spots I could go to. So that's why I used to hit all the black spots when I first started doing stand up, because I could get on stage. And then to a bigger extent, I was just trying to find any place that had a stage and a microphone. So a lot of times I would go to karaoke bars. Instead of singing, I would tell jokes. And so they got to know me. And a lot of the guys ran the karaoke spots, and this is back in San Diego when I started. It was like they had black people was coming to those karaoke spots I would go to. So I kind of built a little following in the San Diego area. And it was funny because Nick Cannon, he was in a rap group called the Bomb Squad.
Yep.
And it was him and another guy. I don't know where the other guy is. That dude's like Brian Dunkleman with American Idol. How they had Ryan Seacrest and Brian. I don't know where he's at, but Nick became Ryan Seacrest. And I don't know where the other dude is in the Bomb Squad. But I remember, I'll never forget. So I'm doing stand around San Diego. I go up to LA, and Magic Johnson had the talk show for a couple months called the Magic Hour. And when he saw me on stage and he was like, yo, we're going to bring you in to possibly be the co-host. So I'm literally at my house in San Diego. I'm dubbing VHS tapes to show Magic, trying to put a highlight reel together. And Nick comes over. And Nick and his manager came over. Nick was like 17. I was like 21. And he goes, man, I think I'm going to do stand-up. I said, you should, man. So Nick started doing stand-up. And it was funny because the first couple of times he went on stage, he was doing other people's jokes. He didn't know. So he went on stage and he did this joke. I said, Nick, that's so-and-so's joke. He goes, yeah, I saw it last night. I thought it was funny. I said, no, you can't do that. You got to do your own joke. He goes, oh. He just didn't know. It wasn't like he was stealing the steal. He just was 17 and was like, that was funny. I'm going to tell that on stage. So he was doing,
But did he tell it funny, though?
Yeah, he was still funny. But he goddamn, I am really leaking, Madd Hatta.
This is funny.
I'm so sorry, man. I feel like I'm being a terrible host,
My
man.
God.
I'm gonna take mine off too. Maybe if we take look, cause I wear black on black on black on, and I'm very black too.
Let's change the name of this to 97.9 The Fan.
maybe me take. Well, ain't no bet. I got a thermal shirt on.
Right.
That. God,
Jesus Christ, bro.
brother. Sorry.
I'm leaking. He got a toboggan on.
Hatta got. This is so funny. Hatta took off his sweater so maybe you could get cool.
Right.
I just feel bad, man. I feel like we're being bad hosts right now.
Nah, it's my fault. I shouldn't have drank.
Is Jimbo sweating?
No, you know Jimbo's not sweating.
He's
Look at
cool.
him.
Cool, calm, collected.
Well, oh, cause he's white. Maybe it's a white thing.
We'll have the AC on fleek at the Improv this
I knew it was
weekend.
gonna be hot. That's why I wore a short sleeve. Gary came in wearing a.
I did wear a hoodie. I looked at the weather. It was like 55 degrees.
Yeah, it's cool out there. Warm in here though, so it's just the way it is.
Yeah, but Nick started doing his thing. And I remember we went up to Oakland, California together, and we did the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. And that's where Disney and some real execs was there. They saw Nick, and then next thing you know, he was the warm-up on all that, and then the rest is history.
Wow. So
That was an interesting little comedy history lesson.
but you hear these stories about Nick too, man. He's turned out to be. I love Nick, by the way. I call him Goldie because he was honest. He comes here very often, and he used to say he had his show so he could date certain women. He used it to get certain women. It's worked for him.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe, as he should. You're an idiot if you're not.
I'm not mad. Hey, I want to get personal real quick. By the way, this weekend, Gary Owens at the Improv. How many shows? Tonight, Saturday,
We got
Sunday?
2 shows Friday. Saturday's gone. We just added a third one.
So Saturday sold out already.
Yeah, but we added a third one, and then we got a show Sunday.
3 shows on Saturday?
Yeah. But,
Wow.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
What?
It's not.
So you
Look,
It's not.
There's people really punching the clock. There's garbage men. There's freaking people picking up garbage.
Okay, when you break it down
3
like
shows,
that,
I can
feel-
handle it.
So
I
do you
got
ever
you.
get nervous before the shows? You're a pro. You've been doing this for so long. Do you ever get nervous still?
I get nervous on radio stations when it's hot.
I knew it.
Because the rumors are going to come. It was coked out on the Madd Hatta show. No, I wasn't.
Maybe if you were
It was
acting
hot.
erratic or something, they might
Right.
say you was on some
Just-
coke or something. Yeah, you like kept
And
doing
we're
like
all
that.
wearing
Yeah.
hoodies, so.
Yeah, how'd you get started, man? I don't know.
But fair question, does Gary at this point, does he even get scared to hit a stage or is it just
No.
natural?
Or you're never
No.
nervous about any jokes, how they're going to go over? No?
Really?
I get anxious. I don't get nervous.
Like I'm ready to go on stage and do my thing?
Yeah, I miss those days. I miss like the open mic when you make a phone call and you don't know if you're going on that night, and then you call them back at like 9 o'clock. They go, yeah, you got the 11 o'clock to 11:05 spot tonight, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going up. And then the butterflies come, and then you're just excited to get on stage. Now it's a business, Now you're like, okay, I got my home run jokes. I know what'll hit the crowd, and I try to get the crowd to like me, so I try to do local stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's easy. There's a lot of stuff going on in Houston all the time. But
What do you do if a joke goes bad? If you
just
tell a
keep it
joke
moving.
and
Oh,
it
no,
kinda
like
just-
this. Never happened. No, don't remember last time a joke went bad.
What about the reality show that you were doing? I thought that was absolutely great. I was surprised that you did it too because it's so intimate when somebody allows a camera in their home around their kids.
Yeah,
too.
that was.
And I was
my big thing.
very surprised. I was like, oh wow.
Well, a lot of people didn't know T.I. was executive producer on that, and T.I. helped put the show together. And it was random how the show came about. I meet with this lady named Stella, who was Mariah Carey's old manager. I feel like I'm name dropping now, but it was a general meeting.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm having the meeting with Stella, T.I. walked in, and then T.I. said, "Hey, what's up, man?" So we started talking. We're just at a restaurant. I think we were at the Four Seasons Beverly Hills in the restaurant, and T.I. walked in, and then he just joined the conversation, right? Out of left field. He was meeting with somebody else for something else. And then so he comes in, starts talking to me and Stella, and then Stella goes, he's got an interesting story. I'm gonna get a reality show with him. And T.I. goes, it sounds cool. Yeah.
Smiling, showing
Right.
the teeth.
So then I started talking to him about it. And general conversation went to something else. Next thing I know, we're at Buena Murray. the same people that did like the Real World and the Kardashians. That's what they do is reality TV. And T.I.'s there, and then we put the show together. And that was what I always asked him was I was like, yo, my kids, that's the ones I'm worried about. And he goes, yeah, he goes, dude, I went through the same thing with mine. He goes, just preparing for social media. Because, there's going to be people like, why she got that on? Why she act like that? She stuck up or whatever. He said, but it's funny because if you go to season 2, watch how they change though. He goes, because season 1, they'll be like, I don't want to work. I don't want to do this. Season 2, they'll be like, okay, I need a stylist. I got to make sure I look good in this. I notice I look good in blue.
Your kids are actually going to change.
Yeah. Well, we're not. We got canceled.
Your show, I thought the show was pretty good.
We didn't get canceled because of the show. We got canceled because BET overhauled the network. And everyone, like Stephen Hill left and Deborah Lee, everybody that got our show, like Viacom came in and cleaned house, and we just got caught up.
Why'd you just take it to another network or something like that?
I mean, that sounds easy, but it's
it's
not that
reality.
easy.
I got you.
Yeah, it's not that easy. I mean, it does happen, but our show was cool, and we held the audience from Real Husbands, but it wasn't like Empire. Where 20 million people watched around the bat.
I thought it was an interesting because you know what? Not often on TV do you see the dynamics of a mixed family, and an honest mixed family. You know what I'm saying about what happens and dealing with the dynamics of that. So I thought that's what made it an interesting watch.
Yeah, believe me, I would have loved to do 10 seasons. It was easy.
I got you.
But
I got you.
like
if they
everything.
came to you again, you would though.
Oh, yeah. But everything got taken off BET. I mean, Real Husbands, Being Mary Jane, everything just got, nobody realized
I didn't even think about that.
Everything just got wiped clean, and Viacom goes, all right. And all I think they were doing, they was like, we're just going to get rid of everything and try to figure out where we want the network to go. Okay. And we just got caught up in that after season 1. It would have been lovely if that would have happened after season 5. But it happened after season 1.
I got you.
But I always got
I enjoyed
other
it.
stuff.
I literally enjoyed it. I watched every episode. I enjoyed the show.
Oh, I appreciate
you
it.
and the best friend thing there. That was an interesting dynamic, having the best friend living in your home.
In the basement?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been me. J Mac, I love you, brother, but you got to have your own
live in
spot.
the basement.
We had one rule, no hoes in the house. No hoes in the house.
I don't know how you manage that because he's a grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Red Roof Inns are $69 a night. Ain't that expensive?
It adds up.
You know what I mean?
Now, what about have you heard anything about the movies with them doing parts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Are they going to extend that brand with the movies?
Which one? Think Like a Man?
Yeah.
Or Meet the Blacks? Yeah.
Any of them?
Well, Meet the Blacks, we did
good.
do part 2.
Okay.
And what's crazy about Meet the Blacks 2 is I died in the first one. Completely died in Meet the Blacks, right? They shot me in the back. I died.
I remember this scene.
I was the killer. I was the purger, the lead purger. And then they shot me in the back at the end of the movie. I just ruined the movie for people that didn't see it. And then the director calls like, yo, Gary, man, we're doing a sequel. I was like, but I died in the first one. He was like this. Yeah, we didn't worry about that. What? Like, literally, when I tell you I'm playing a completely different character and nobody brings it up, like I'm playing a completely different person. I was like, who does that? Like, can you imagine if they did Boys in the Hood 2 and Morris Chestnut just walking down the street? And they're like, is that Ricky? Nah, Bobby, man. Look at that, get that lot, man. Look at that, Ricky.
I guess that's a legitimate point. Very legitimate point, but it is what it is.
But it is a good movie. Cat's in it, Mike's in it, Duval's in it, Blackson's in it. It's nice when you got somebody like Deion Taylor's a director of it, and he sees the value in comedians and bringing them together. Because a lot of times we don't. It's like, lately when you hear about comedians, it's we're always beefing. And
I was going to ask you about that too, because I saw you jumped in a beef, were very tactful about it.
Which one?
Well, the one where
which one?
Baby girl,
Monique.
Yes, you jumped.
Well, I thought
in
Monique was at. This is where I thought Monique was out of line when I
she put one of your partners out there, and so you kind of
she
wait a
compared
minute.
Will Packer to Harvey Weinstein, and that's when I went. That's a little too far.
Okay,
you're talking about a sexual predator against probably one of the most upstanding individuals I know is Will Packer. And I just took up for him. And listen, I never called Monique at her name. I never said I don't want nothing to do with you. I just went, if you got problems with a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons, it might be you. And that was my thing. I was like, I made sure I didn't disrespect her in any way or anything like that. I just went, come on, Mo. You know I ain't like that. You know it. Ask anybody in this business.
Because I never really see you jump into the fray, so to speak. So I was surprised when I saw that. I know you was like, this is a stand-up guy, so I'm going to say something.
What did she call you?
Hey, love. Nah,
hey,
she
love.
said something, but I mean, I get it. Like, I try to stay clear that, like, even the beef between me and Michael Blackson was fake. let cats out the bag. We were texting each other, say this, because I would go to Mike's page and they was like, damn, Mike, you killing Gary. I go, he should. I wrote him the joke. I told him what to say.
So who is your favorite comedian?
Stupid.
All time?
Yeah, like who is your favorite?
All time Bernie Mac.
Okay.
Without question, Bernie Mac.
Oof,
And it
that's
was
your guy right
one
there.
thing
Oh, yeah,
what
man.
Bernie did on stage. It was more the man he was off stage that made me such a fan of his. You know, just how he carried himself, and great Bernie Mac story that probably nobody's ever told. So I did a movie called College, which came out in 2008, and it tanked at the box office. We came out on Friday. We was a blockbuster on Tuesday. But we shot it in New Orleans, and everyone that worked on College had just come off of Pride, the movie with Terrence Howard and Bernie. I'm talking about the crew and the craft service people, because they left New Orleans and we came in. And Bernie, I guess every Friday, Bernie would buy the bar out for 2 hours so the cast and crew could just bond and drinks and just come together. And Bernie's only rule was drink what you normally drink. So if you drink Bud Light, don't be ordering Louis all of a sudden. Oh, now you have a palate for Louis, So every week it was the same stuff. Bernie bought the bar. All of a sudden, they're about 5-6 weeks into shooting. Bernie gets the bill and there's 2 bottles on the bill. And Bernie's like, why would somebody order 2 bottles and everything's free? Just order a drink. So Bernie brings everybody to his trailer Monday morning and starts going off. I told you MFers, drink what you normally drink, and you took advantage of my generosity. And it's going off. And really cuts everybody out. And then everybody leaves. And the director comes to Bernie and is like, Bernie, man, can you bring everybody back together? Because people are nervous to work with you today because they think you're upset. Bernie's like, all right. Everybody comes back to Bernie's trailer. He goes, it's been brought to my attention that you guys are nervous to work with me, baby. You weren't nervous to drink with me every Friday from 6 to 8 for the last 6 weeks, but now you nervous? I was like, oh. The director just put his hands up and laughed, really? So I was like, well, that's classic Bernie.
Did y'all find out who bought the
They
2
said
bottles?
it was a wardrobe assistant. It was some girl ruined her whole career, and she put 2 bottles in her purse.
Wow.
And honestly, this is a story I got from a crew member, and it got validated by a couple other crew members. But
Was your career worth 2 bottles?
Wardrobe assistant. And then you had to realize it was going to be somebody like that. It was going to be somebody low on the totem pole that, the whole crew, was it worth it? 2 liquor bottles?
Wherever she is right now, wish we could ask.
Right. Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
She's probably at Chipotle. Brown rice or white rice right now.
By the way, love Chipotle. I'll see y'all later this afternoon.
Chipotle is tasty.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. Yeah, I thought you had to go ahead.
No, I mean, your family. How did they take your black wife? I'm just curious. I mean, I don't get to see TV.
I don't want to get too. If you saw the reality show, it's fine. I don't have any relationship with my mom.
Oh,
I don't have any
know.
relationship with my stepdad because I got a family. They're all black sheeps, and I'm the white sheep. Usually, you got a black sheep of the family.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My family, I talk about it from a trailer park. I got one brother. He passed away of a heroin overdose. My other brother's in prison for dealing heroin, and it's just dysfunction. So I'm a better person not being around that. I can't be around it.
You don't think your celebrity and your money has brought you where you can heal some of the pain since you have made it so
Personal
big?
pain
No,
or the
family pain.
Oh
You
no,
bring the whole family.
listen. It's still my mom. So even though I have nothing to do with her, when things go left, I take care of things.
Okay.
What you're supposed to do.
Like my brother needed to go to rehab. I sent him. I picked him up, drove him to rehab, paid for rehab. My mom's car broke down. I got her a new car.
Okay.
I still take care of things. I just
from
can't.
a distance.
I can't be around it. It's too dysfunctional, and it's just.
Damn, that's pretty big of you.
It just brings it down.
Because a lot of people, I'm one of those kind of people. When I cut you off, I cut you off. So to hear that I stay my distance, but I'm still take care of my family no matter what, that's incredible.
Well,
that makes me respect the comedian way more than for all the comedic stuff that I've known you for.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's a real man.
You gotta be real. I was in her stomach for 9 months, and she didn't have an abortion, so I'm not here without her. So I figure that's the least I can do. And it's
I mean, but it's to be saluted, gay, for real. I mean,
well, if you read a
it's
book,
big.
there's a book out there called Hillbilly Elegy, and it's by a guy named J.D. Vance. And Ron Howard's about to turn the book into a movie. Okay. but it really gives an insight, and it helped me insight into that mentality of I'm from Ohio. I grew up in a trailer park, and like broke white people are the most pessimistic people on the planet. They don't find joy in anything. So they always look for the negative. And that's what my family's caught up in. Like I had last conversation I had with my mom probably 4 years ago, and I had said, "How you doing?" And she said, just living paycheck to paycheck like everyone else. And I go, I'm not living like that. And it hit me. I go, oh my God. She surrounds herself with those people and that's a big reason why Trump won. Ooh. Like you had, listen.
You want to go there, sir?
No, but it's honestly got truth. His campaign manager is the winner because you had LeBron and Diddy and all these celebrities endorsing Hillary, so they're hitting Atlanta and LA. Trump went into all these towns in like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Indiana and Kentucky where you got all these broke white people that are looking like it can't be us. It's not us. Well, whose fault is it? And Trump's like, look, I see you. You have a voice, and I believe in you. And he's like, so come out and vote for me. Just like black people came out and voted for Barack, all those broke white people, they came out their trailers and their Section 8 housing, because there's a lot of white people in Section 8 housing too. They came out and voted for Trump. And that's what got, and I guarantee my family voted for him. There's not a doubt in my mind.
You think so?
My mom and stepdad, oh my God. They probably thought he was with them. But my mom, listen, my mom probably voted for Trump because she's like, he let Bret Michaels win The Apprentice after he had a stroke. How could I not vote for him? Holly Robinson Peete clearly was a stronger person. But when he let Bret Michaels win, how can I not vote for him?
Okay. But then that puzzles me. So how do you break out from that? How did you break out?
How did I?
Yeah, from that.
What makes you different from all the rest of them?
I got lucky. I got lucky because the people I befriended in high school, they like I saw a guy with a mom and dad, and my high school coaches. I was a terrible high school athlete, terrible. Well, my coaches looked out for me. I did on my reality show. I told a story. Look, your cameraman's taking a show off. It's freaking hot in here. I knew what I mean. And now I'm adjusted. Now I'm good. No,
now you're over there sweating like.
No, I had a coach one time. This is a true story. I didn't show up to football practice on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm not playing. I'm like JV. The team was fine without me. But Thursday morning, like literally, he pulled me out of class and he goes, where you been the last 2 days? And I go, I just came up with an excuse. He goes, dude, we need you. He goes, so I need you to be at practice today. And all it did was like, whoa, I'm valuable to somebody. Because at that point, I didn't see my value. And literally, I was doing nothing but walking home. It was about 5 miles from my high school to the trailer park. So we had a train track that ran behind the high school. So I literally just got out of school and walked the train track back home because it took a couple hours, and then I didn't know what I was doing. I just like, I didn't see the value in me. And that one incident where the coach pulled me out of class and goes, "We need you. They didn't need me. You need this 135-pound, 5'2", 40 on the field. Really? That's what you need?"
But that one thing was the catalyst to make you see value in yourself and kickstart something inside of you.
Right. I was like, oh, okay, I'm important to somebody. Like somebody saw me and noticed me.
And then to this day, the Army or
Navy?
Navy.
Yeah, the Navy.
What made you go there?
It was a way out of the trailer park. They was like, I'd say I didn't know where I wanted to go. I just know where I didn't want to be.
Were you funny at this time?
Oh, I was class clown. Most obnoxious, prom king. I was all that. I was good at high school. Like once that hit, I was good. I was popular and everything.
So where did you get the funny from? Was it from your mom or your dad?
No,
or
a little bit of both. My real dad's funny. Like my real dad wasn't around growing up, but now we've reconciled and we're good now. But my mom and dad had me in high school. I always said I was a homecoming baby because my birthday's in July. That means I was conceived in October. So my dad had a great time at the dance. Clearly.
So how did you reconnect with your daddy? And do your daddy understand your mom right now and why she's like the way she
can't.
Is?
He is. Yeah, he's not as forgiving as me with her. Yeah, because there was abuse in the house. My stepdad was abusive, so and a lot of people like that. They don't understand how a mother could allow that to happen to a kid. And and looking back on it, she probably should have stepped in and did something. But like I said, to me, I'm okay. I'm solid, but my dad isn't as forgiving. But he wasn't around either growing up.
Right. So now how do you explain that to your kids? How do you tell your kids, like, hey, what do you tell them? I mean, I don't know. And
Well, they only,
They just know a better him.
I mean, I know.
They
Do
don't
they ask, well, hey, where's your mom? Do they ask about your
they
mom?
know.
and
I mean,
why?
they're old enough. We tell them. They know what's going on. They saw my, they went to my brother's funeral. They know one's in prison. I mean, it's in the news. We live in it's a small town in Ohio.
Oh, it's still
when-
to this day?
They still live there. So when my brother got arrested, it was big news in the town. He was like front page of the paper because it was a big drug bust.
Wow.
He got caught. He was high and dealing. I go, wow, this guy's a beast. This smug is high and still dealing. Guy's a monster.
It's crazy.
And how old are your kids?
17 and 16.
Oh, so they understand too.
Yeah. But they're good, And,
Love being a dad too.
Yeah, I love being a dad. And it's funny because if you look at society, they would think it's the opposite. The black side is the functional. Everybody's good. Everybody's went to college. Everybody's together, and my side's all messed up. Trailer park and everything else. Hell, my stepdad, when we got married, my stepdad sucker punched my real dad at the wedding.
What?
Straight up. Beak.
Oh my
You know what I mean? Nah.
Why?
Because he looked at me funny. Because my stepdad goes, he looked at me funny.
No.
All my
life.
life.
You're making
All my
this
life.
up.
All my life. All my kids' life that happened.
Wow.
Yep. Sucker punched him. Boom. Wedding was over. I was like, really? And my wife was like, really? I was like, it's trailer park, baby. It what it is, man. It's trailer park, man.
So you're really not supposed to be here sitting by us
wow.
today and this successful.
I don't know. I think
Odds were against them.
some people have an inner spirit, and I always think, like, no matter what circumstance you put them in, they're going to come out okay.
Right.
And even if I want a comedian, I used to sit when I sat in the trailer park, I used to sit in my room and look out the front window, and I was like, I'm not going to be here. This is not
already
me.
knew.
This is
I did the
not
same
me.
thing.
I'm not meant for this. Because I used to love going to big neighborhoods and see houses. And when I say big neighborhoods, I mean probably average neighborhoods.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have me a house. Just a house. I don't care what kind of. I'm gonna get me a house.
All right, well, finally then. So what made Gary different than the rest of them? Not just your family, but those people that can't get out of that rut that
The
they're in.
trap.
What do you think that was about you that was different? Yeah, I get that you said to yourself at an early age, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
What do you think made you different that pushed you more? Even though, yeah, I get it. You said that there was a coach that gave you some self-worth, but there has to be something in you that helps you get over the hump.
Stand-up was probably it, because even before I ever got on stage, I knew I was going to be a stand-up. I knew it. I told my guidance counselor in high school, and she'll tell you, I was like, I'm going to be a stand-up. Because I didn't take the SAT or the ACT. They was like, you're not going to take it? I said, I don't need it. I'm going to be a stand-up. I don't need college. No, you don't understand. I'm going to be a stand-up. I used to tell girls in high school, you should date me. I said, you should date me. I'm going to be a stand-up. I'm going to make it. And they'd be like, what? Now I go back to the reunions. I go, told you. Kind of messed up, Tracy.
Gary Owens is here all this week in several shows. Give me all the details again, Gary.
We got an air-conditioned improv.
It's kind of cooler in here now, huh?
It feels good.
It did get cooler. I got 2 shows a night. Friday Saturday's gone, so we just added a 3rd show Saturday, and I got 1 on Sunday. But tickets are going, so you might want to get them. All the shows are going to sell out, so that's why this late show Saturday probably is your best bet.
Jimbo, give me the number.
713-333-8800.
You've been quiet this whole time,
Thank you.
Jim.
Sorry about
we
that. I was
appreciate
just listening.
It's hot, Jim.
Gary's a good storyteller.
Jim's cool.
Man, some of this stuff I never really knew, some of this intimate stuff. Thank you very much, Gary, for being honest and telling this story. I think it helps people when they hear this kind of stuff, so thank you.
Yeah. You can get out. You can get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, any broke white listeners, you can get out. I'm here for you. I know it's a hip-hop station, but I guarantee you got some boys in the trailer park right now. You know what I mean?
If Gary,
put on
if Gary
Future.
can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody got like, who's that doing that voice right there? That was Gary, it wasn't me. No, thank you, Gary.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you
man.
guys. Thanks.